Some of you may have already seen this, but it turns out I was right about BTCs the entire time. Mod Aiza, he's blocked me on Twitter, so I can't do anything about his tweets. But he basically posted yesterday. There was a discussion about clan bingos on Twitter, right? Okay, a cold one tweeted this. He took from some other place. From Mod Gecko, okay, and the tweet follows. It says, "Hello again, happy Monday. If such a thing exists, I asked to act about this, and it's likely getting flagged due to the way the money is being passed around." Okay, so this is related to bingos within clans. They did argue that this is technically player-run games of chance, so it is against the rules due to the 5 mil buy-in. They did say that it's probably lucky that it's not been looked at more closely, as there's not a big difference between the way this is moving money versus other player-run gambling methods. So initially, this is obviously the community has cooked since this came out 2 days ago, okay? I'd either cut the money out of the bingo and find another way of celebrating winners. I'll be honest, I don't know what you could do. Because what might end up happening is you get picked up as potential small-time sellers / dicers and get everyone receiving the money banned on top, in which case nobody wins. I'm glad I asked, though, because I assumed it might be fine under clan bingo, but I guess others could easily use this as a smokescreen for actual real trade. I know the answer will probably suck, but hopefully it stops any more bans and your clan can find a different way to give prizes to bingo winners. Okay, this is from Mod Gecko, which I personally think is rich, coming from any JMod, considering, like I've said here, how they just pretty much, they want to consider bingos player-run games, player-run gambling, but they allow DMing to be so widely active and enabled. They don't do anything about stopping DMing. They pretty much just allow people, they set up specific rules like Mod Trident was doing. They set up a specific set of rules around deathmatching that players must follow in order to not be considered, I'm assuming, player-run game of chance for some fucking reason, which makes no sense. So to even see a statement like this from a JMod to begin with is a fucking joke, in my opinion. I don't think it's in line with any... There's no consistency amongst Jagex at this point when things like this are happening. There was then a discussion with Mod Aiza. I don't know where... because he's got me blocked, so I can't see it. So buy-ins in bingo are totally safe. Aiza says yes, though to be absolutely clear, if someone in your clan real trades and they're adding gold to the pot, then you may be slapped as a result. All right, so tell your clannies to be clean and play by the rules. Okay, this is cooked since this statement, but I'm going to show you the full context anyway. Why'd Mod Aiza block me? Probably because his friends did a bitter and I fucking destroyed that cunt's YouTube channel. So it makes sense that people are not happy with me running the show. We then see from Zamos, how does that make any sense? Clans have hundreds of people. You can't guarantee every single person's legitimacy. This completely kills clan events involving GP. It makes complete sense. You might not agree with it, but that doesn't mean it's wrong. If you're getting gold pulled in from someone who's real trades and gets caught up in the transaction, there's a chance you'll be triggered as a buyer. If you want to avoid it, do some cleaning. Right, so basically, before the statement is amended, which Aiza does, at this point, people feel like that Jagex is expecting us to vet our clanmates, our bingo players, and basically just assume we know who's real traded and who hasn't. This also verifies that when BTCs, if you remember, he got banned for that big real trade scandal that had nothing to do with the 1 trillion on his account, and then his friends got banned. It's because they were either associating with him or he was associating with them. The difference is he got a perm ban, they got a temporary ban. Just another big L for BTCs, which I think we should cover here as a blanket statement. Once again, I was fucking right. Clan leaders don't have access to trade logs, only Jagex does. The only outcome from this is regular players getting banned. This is exactly right. So this was not a good look, okay? So, from here, there was a statement that was released by Mod Aiza. Here we go. Which I need to find. No, it's not that. There was a statement by Mod Aiza I'm just trying to find now. I do apologize. Give me a sec. I definitely had the link somewhere at one point. It might even be in my bookmarks. Here we go. All right. So from Mod Aiza, this was, I think he posted this on Twitter. I fully expected to get obliterated after the first few replies came in following these tweets. Maybe not as much, but it's my own fault for how I worded the replies. I'll try to offer some clarity to put people's minds to rest because it really wasn't meant to blow up past my initial reply to the tweet. So clan bingo is fine. It is highly unlikely you'll ever face an issue in regards to real trade for receiving gold as part of a clan funded prize pool. That doesn't mean, I've not read this before, this is the first time reading it, but to me that says you can still get banned. All real trade bans are thoroughly checked and reviewed to prevent this, but mistakes can happen. Absolutely. I can turn the music down, yes. So the reason I don't like this statement already from that second paragraph is that what it's saying is you could still get flagged for real trade innocently through a clan event. And even though they are thoroughly checked, I believe an automated system, as we've discovered recently, will still ban you, and then you'll have to appeal to have that check reversed, right? And to have the ban quashed, which is not ideal for pretty much anyone who plays, legitimately, right? The first reply that's been quoted above is poorly worded, and I apologize for that. It was intended to be a tongue-in-cheek way of saying stop playing with people who are breaking the rules and you won't have to worry. How do you know people break the rules? I specifically avoid playing with people I don't know, or I just do free-for-all in raids because I don't want to fucking play with you people because I don't know, I can't trust you guys. Okay, that's why I also play an Ironman. I don't want to fucking play with people I can't trust that don't real trade, or that do real trade. I don't know. I don't have a clue. So that's what we're left with at the moment. That's our solution as a player base. Obviously, you don't necessarily know who's breaking the rules, which makes sense. We don't expect you to be the ones policing the game, as you've rightly pointed out. That's our job, absolutely. In hindsight, I would have deleted it instantly because it was pretty bad, but that often just ends up looking worse. So I tried to clarify that genuine players shouldn't really have anything to worry about, as how we handle real trade bans hasn't changed. Just we're doing more of them that you shouldn't get banned for innocently interacting with someone who has real trade. So I respect the last bit there. It would have absolutely looked even worse if you did delete the comment. So to kind of take the responsibility here and put out this post does bring a lot more clarity, but it still leaves a lot of questions and a lot of I should have deleted it. Yeah, that's the IEs away. It still leaves a lot of like questions in the air for the players, because you shouldn't get banned, but people are still getting real trade flags for trading with their friends or other accounts, right? And people have been talking about this a lot lately. It's still happening. So I'm not sure what we do from here. What do we got here? A's responded and apologized for the recent clan bingo controversy tweets, posting here, hopefully to see if more people can see it. We just read this. There's a second page. The second tweet about it makes complete sense. Fergo, thank you for the gift. Good luck, GZ Tyler. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. The second tweet about it makes complete sense is very poorly worded, and looking back now, it's a bit embarrassing. Whatever. What I was trying to say here is that when looking at it from how the system detects potential real trade, it does make complete sense. Now, I agree with this statement, right? Because people do whatever they can to not get found out for real trade. They will literally just buy up big amounts of really small, unnecessary items in the Grand Exchange. Do you ever realize why? Like, you sit there and then all of a sudden, like, bronze medium helmets are selling for 10k each. And you ever wonder why? It's because people are real trading through the Grand Exchange. They're basically money laundering, trying to claim the money so Jagex can't, hopefully, not trace it. But they can still trace it. People just don't understand that. Happens all the time. People use all sorts of methods to try and act like real trading isn't what's happening here. Like, same with, like, splits through raids and stuff like that. If you interact with someone who is involved with real trade, then it's likely that you are marked for review to see if you're also involved. But that's where the thorough checks come into play and avoid anyone being incorrectly banned, which apparently, according to players currently, is not happening a whole lot. But what I've seen mostly with all these ban stories and requests that have come through my DMs lately, from what I've seen, anything to do with real trade bans has often been quashed, well, that's really it, actually, to be honest. The only appeals that are being denied are the ones of people who are getting macro bans. All the real trade bans are either being quashed or not, right? It seems like they are checking those more often than not. But that's where the thorough checks come in. Sorry, we read that bit. However, there's always a chance we got it wrong, of course, because there's human interaction. And know darn well, if I said in a tweet, there's no chance you'd ever get banned, it'd be mentioned until the end of time. And he never said that. Would you be upset if I renamed myself Spaghettits? I wouldn't give a shit. where was I? No chance of getting banned. It'd be mentioned throughout until the end of time. I'm not saying I think this is a good system or that this is the right way to go about handling it, but that's how it's done right now, and that's all Modo User can do and say, because he's a community J mod or whatever the fuck it is, right? He's not an anti-cheat mod. My buddy got hacked and lost 800 mil on his person, even after setting up a Jagex account in 2FA. Didn't get into his bank because of his bank pin, and your mate's compromised somewhere. So I would tell him to get that shit fixed. Lastly, some of you pulled up my reply to Tedious saying about the Tesco comment. I try to have fun on socials, and I have great relationships with many different people within the community. When I wrote that, this wasn't as big of an issue, and it is now, and I thought it was just some harmless fun, which is what I thought too. He replied to Tedious somewhere saying this isn't Tesco's, because Tedious makes a lot of jokes on Twitter, so I'm assuming people just took that comment out of context. When I wrote that, this wasn't as big of an issue. It wasn't meant to be a slick reply or anything of the sorts, but I certainly see why it comes across that way. Apologies again if you took it seriously, which I don't think you'd be wrong to have done so. I think you're wrong to have taken it seriously. I think that's not Modo User's fault personally. So what does this mean, in my opinion? Basically, the original statement stands. You can absolutely get Real World Trade banned for being part of a clan bingo by the looks of it. That risk is entirely possible. It doesn't sound like it's a very big risk, but it is enough to off-put some people. Like, some players genuinely won't want to play the game or interact with other players because they feel like they're going to have a problem with copying a ban that they don't deserve, right? It's just entirely possible. And that's, put clan bingos aside, just trading people in general, people are worried about that. Would you rather get chanced in the hardcore or small Tyrannosaurus gaming chair? How about I'd rather just ban you from my chat? Did they touch on the clan coffer any further? No, but the clan coffer would be a good idea because it's only stuck at 1 mil, and I feel like they should definitely up that, but then they've got to worry about people getting scammed. Don't put money in the coffer if you don't want to push it over. There's a tweet here from Ancient Wyvern Shield as well, which Jagex silences. Definitely there are plenty of legitimate issues which have a large impact within the community that are being conveniently avoided. Posting below due to silly filters. I believe that this tweet was actually, or there was a tweet that was blocked by the Reddit mods somewhere. I think maybe it's been changed now. Bots are an issue. I'm not sure why people don't understand that it's literally a never-ending battle that cannot be won. Games have been trying for 30 years to combat bots, and they have yet to actually win. This has nothing to do with real-world trading. I don't know why that's a top comment. Oh, we got another one here. So it says points 3 and 4 are fair, but points 1 and 2 will never get any more than we've implemented some changes to bus bots. I'm assuming this is to the Modo User post. I don't really know the structure of this Reddit. This is just what was sent to me. Jagex will never disclose what they're doing to prevent bots and false bans, because disclosing that information, even just a little, will always play into the hands of botters. By letting them know that what information Jagex is looking at to identify bots, it allows script writers to better skirt the detection system, which we're all aware of. Again, I don't think this is really related to the real trade system. I think this is just something we need to be aware of, and just as the player base, there's nothing we can do, right? At the end of the day, like, what the hell can we do other than avoid other players? We are being made to feel like we cannot trade because there are illegitimate players. Oh, here we go. There's the list there. I guess that was removed. We'll look at that in a second. I guess it's for bot farming. Lack of action on bots and bot farms. No discussion on what is triggering people to get falsely removed from the game. No real appeal system or customer support besides praying to get noticed on Reddit or X. And no answer on why DMing or commission staking is allowed. That's the main thing. We can be Ironman like true heroes. We can. The thing is that opinions like this and Jagex making us feel like trading with real traders is something that's going to get you banned. DMing should not be as accessible or as easily achievable as it can be, right? Of course, it's going to be hard to stop people DMing. They're always going to find a way to cheat the system, unless Jagex just completely outlaw and ban the fuck out of any sort of content that involves that, right? Like, if no one is streaming it, a lot less people will be doing it to begin with. If you stop, this sounds selfish, but if you stop content creators deathmatching, you will put not a complete stop to deathmatching, but you'll put a serious dent in deathmatching. A lot less people will come to the scene. A lot less people will know about it. It will stay underground, and it's then out of sight, out of mind as well for a lot of people, which I'm sure is just mostly what some of the community wants. But Jagex can handle it by stopping influencers as such, running the entire deathmatching market, right? The fact real trade is such a problem that trading in game is now a potential issue as mental. It is, absolutely. So I don't even understand if people are actually allowed to DM or not. They are allowed to deathmatch, provided that they are not using a middleman, which makes absolutely fucking zero sense. Having a middleman makes no fucking difference at the end of the day, because there's always one side of the middleman role has just shifted to one side of the deathmatching now. And it's obvious. It's been shown. J-mods know about it. That at the end of the day, that's the truth, right? I feel like if deathmatching was less, was not as allowed, was policed a bit more, real trading would also be less of a problem, and then we would have less issues of people trading potential real traders, right? Because there'll be less people looking to buy and sell gold. There'll be less massive amounts of gold on accounts. Again, like I said, and people are going to try to argue this point, but I need to make it clear, you're never going to stop it, just like you're never going to stop botting, but Jagex absolutely can and should do what they can to slow it down, restrict it, right? You're never going to stop people committing crimes, but you have laws in place to try to police it and reduce crime, right? You just try to reduce it. That, in my opinion, is the best way to go about it, is to straight up say deathmatching is no longer allowed. If you're caught deathmatching, you're fucking banned. It's that simple. Like, I don't really understand why. In my opinion, the only thing that I can think of as to why they allow deathmatching today still is because there are people that deathmatch and they don't want to remove a playstyle that people want to play for the game. And it's not fair for someone like me who doesn't deathmatch to say that that should be bannable because of the way that you play the game, because that's like me saying I'm not a PKer, so they should remove PKing, right? But deathmatching is a little bit more... It's less of a... The nature of deathmatching has gotten to the point that it's not about how I want to play the game, it's how people want to make money, right? And that's now affecting the rest of the game, because people will go deathmatching and real trade, or people will buy gold, and that gold is so easily available a lot more than other people because of deathmatches. Gold is generated into the game all the time, but gold is gathered on accounts in such large quantities due to deathmatching more than anything. Deathmatching is the same as staking, yes. You can only get reported if you talk to the person reporting you. That's only through... That's only for like text reporting. If you trade someone, you can report them. The economy is screwed. I have seen so many people with max 12 TBs, 2 million shadow stars. I think the game is beyond repair. The economy is fine. I wouldn't worry about the economy. Isn't it a very small percent affected by this though? A very small percent affected? Okay, sure. But if you are an honest player and you do a raid with someone and that you have to split with them and you end up getting flagged for real trade, now there's no guarantee you're not going to get flagged, and it's highly likely that you won't end up having a problem, but it's not a 100% foolproof system. Now what? A lot of people, it's not deathmatches necessarily that are the problem. It's people who will real trade and fuck off. But real trading is so much more accessible because deathmatches real trade so much and are allowed to move this gold around, and the market for real trading is so big because deathmatching is so normal. It's there, the fundamental of it is there, right? If you restrict everything to do with real trading, it makes it a lot harder for people to real trade. You'll never stop it, never beat it, of course, but you'll slow it the fuck down. Imagine the amount of GP infiltrating from mole slippers? None. Don't know what you're talking about. Deathmatch needs to real trade leads to deathmatching, self-fulfilling prophecy. Essentially, right. Yes. Gold is sold dramatically through DMing. If there's less gold being sold, there's less gold for people to buy, then effectively the price of gold goes up as well, right? If you got 500 mil to 1 bill to risk, go for it? No. Absolutely not. And well, they just made GDKP bannable, so I feel like banning deathmatches is 100% reasonable. I think it's completely fair. I don't know what GDKP is, but I think it should be it should be bannable. It should be policed a lot better, for sure. Because Jagex removed the dual arena purely for UK licensing reasons, right? Because it was considered gambling at that point. Now PvP worlds are the same thing. Just because it's not in an arena, doesn't matter. You go to Lumbridge Castle, that is the PvP arena. It is the same thing. It is just more player orientated, which is done through Discord servers, which is done through real world trade, which is just another loop. I think it should be DMing and commission staking should it should be looked at further by Jagex. I think this will be less of a prevalent problem, and there'll be less real traders around if there was less real trading in the game, essentially. GDKB is bidding items off for gold in raid, which directly influences gold buying in WoW. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, well, fuck that then. A friend of mine buys 50 mil for £9. Well, you should report him just for fun. Or, even better, blackmail him. Say, give you £20 or you report him and get him banned. There you go. Nightbot is such a good robot, reminding everyone to like the stream. It's good, hey. Hope he gets banned. Yeah, absolutely. So that's just where I want to leave it at the moment. If there's anything further on this, we'll look at it. But essentially, it looks like trading in game is not going to get you banned, but it can. As Mod says, it's not likely because they do checks. But if you do get banned for real trading and you haven't personally real traded, it is likely someone else has that you've traded with. Appeal the system, and they should give you your time back in membership. If you're banned for 2 days, they should give you 2 days membership back, quash the ban. That's the best you can expect, and honestly, that's better than nothing. What do you think if they bought back loot share where you can GP split as a drop? No, pointless. You don't want a loot share. Whenever I need coins, I just buy bonds. They're like 10.5 mil. Exactly. I won't get you banned unless it does. It won't get you banned unless it does. Absolutely right. Splits for clock, etc. How that work? Well, at your own risk. Do free for all, in my opinion. Yeah, I think free for alling when you're playing is the best way to go about it. That's the safest way to play. Just free for all raid. Don't do splits, and then you shouldn't have a problem. It's not good, but hopefully in the future Jagex pulls something out to help with this situation. Ideally, when they hurry up and give us some sort of anti-cheat system at the same time. Buying bonds elsewhere will get you banned though. Stick to Oldschool Runescape only. Absolutely. This is the easiest room in the raid. It's quite simple. You got a big boy. Look at him. God damn. Fuck me. Look at that boy. It's huge. You got a big boy.